Hey, what's going on YouTube? Son of Sanguinius here, and today we're going to be continuing our Angel's Blade review with a look at the very first formation in the supplement, the Battle Demi-Company. So, I'm going to preface this. This is going to be part review and most likely part rant. There may be some strong language involved, so be prepared for that, as your boy, Son of Sanguinius, has a message for Games Workshop at the end of this video. So, without further ado, let's dive right into this formation. So, the Battle Demi-Company. Its formation is one captain or one chaplain, one command squad only if the captain is taken, 3 tactical squads, 1 assault squad, bike squad, attack bike squad, or unit of land speeders, 1 Devastator squad, 1 Dreadnought, and 1 Furioso Dreadnought only if the chaplain is taken. So just to reiterate, if you take a captain, you have to take a command squad. If you take a chaplain, you have to take a Furioso Dreadnought in addition to the regular Dreadnought. And for special rules, it has the Angel's Virtue, which basically allows you to re-roll your Warlord traits on the Warlord traits table in Codex Blood Angels, and the Red Thirst. When you charge into combat, you add +1 to your initiative during that assault phase. If you make a disorder charge, you receive no benefit from the special rule. So, okay, this is by far the worst fucking formation in this book. I mean, this is such a colossal failure on Games Workshop's part. I'm starting to get just incredibly angry right now just talking about this. First of all, this has no unique benefits. It has the exact same special rules as the Angel's Blade Strike Force, with the exception that it does not have the Sons of Sanguinius special rule that gives us Zealot when our units are reduced to half their number of starting models, rounding down. We'll touch on that a little bit later, because a lot of what I'm about to say, transfers over to that. But regardless, there is literally no benefit to taking this at all. On top of being, just a heavy point sink with all that you're required to bring. I mean, the very fact that you have to bring, 2 Dreadnoughts in here if you take a chaplain, or if you take a captain, you have to take a command squad. Like, it's fluffy, it's thematic, I get it, but wow, this really hampers the Angel's Blade Strike Force, because this is quite an expensive point sink. Because if you're playing a 1,500 point game, good luck taking anything else in the Angel's Blade Strike Force in addition to this, because as with a lot of things in this supplement, it seems as though Games Workshop was intent on you playing 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 point games with this supplement. And unfortunately, most people don't really have the time nor the money to really go out and spend on this thing. And I mentioned how a lot of people feel like this book was a cash grab, and I can tell you, as someone who mistakenly bought the special edition of this, I can kind of vouch for that. But wow, so it's a huge point sink. It has no unique special rules. This thing is a failure, both on its own and both as part of the Angel's Blade detachment. And what do I mean by that? Well, I've heard some people say here that aside from all the Blood Angel bitching around here, it has the red thirst or whatever, and it's fluffy, and it helps, it makes you want to charge with your tactical marines, and they're all about, Blood Angels are all about destroying the enemy, and blah 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 blah. That's true. However, the units that make up this formation, not all of them are meant to charge. Your command squads, you can get them out for close combat, but why in the hell would you? They're much better used as a special weapons platform, in my personal opinion. Those 3 tactical squads are not meant to fucking assault. Devastator squads are not meant to assault. The regular Dreadnoughts are much better used as fire support platforms instead of assaulting. If you want to talk about assaulting with the assault squads and the Furioso Dreadnoughts, fine. But most of the units in this formation are not meant to assault. Now, if Games Workshop said, hey, you know what, let's give something, a little bit interesting for the Battle Demi-Company to make players want to assault with their Tactical Marines, to make players want to assault with their Command Squad, to make players want to assault with their Devastator Marines, they could have given us something like Relentless, or Rage, or just, I don't know, regular Zealot instead of the bullshit, reduced to, half your number of starting models, as in, the Angel's Blade Strike Force or whatever. And I'm sorry that there's a little bit of crossover here, but unfortunately the Angel's Blade Strike Force is a lot of what I'm saying about the Battle Demi-Company goes with the Angel's Blade Strike Force as well. But regardless of that, this thing is a failure. Not only do you not gain any benefits, from it if you take it in attachment, it's also a failure if you take it alone, just by itself, just as the formation, as it stands. Because, frankly, why would you ever take this on its own when you can take a Ball Strike Force from the Blood Angels Codex? It gives you the exact same special rules, and not only is it not such a point stack, you get to choose what units you want. In a Ball Strike Force, you need 1 HQ, 2 troops, and 1 elite choice, of your choosing. Any HQ you want, any 2 troops you want, and any 1 elite that you want. You get to have that in the Ball Strike Force. Why in God's name would you go with this Battle Demi-Company? This thing is... well, this thing almost ruins. This almost ruins the Angel's Blade Strike Force. I mean, because when you look at the Battle Demi-Company and then you look at the Archangel's Demi-Company, and you have to take one of those as your core choice. The Archangel's Demi-Company, although it is the better of the two and it does have some interesting special rules, it is expensive as hell. It's more of a point sink than the Battle Demi-Company because you're bringing basically all elite units to make the core of your formation. However, the Battle Demi-Company is just so fucking useless on the tabletop. There's no benefit to bringing it. It's essentially just the whole formation is basically just a required tax for you to basically get what? Zealot when, fucking half of your squad dies? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, Games Workshop? Consider, and this is, and we're sort of bleeding it in here to my message to Games Workshop. So, you know what? I pretty much said all I had to say about this thing anyway. So fuck it. We're just gonna go straight into the message for Games Workshop. Games Workshop, if you're listening to this, if one of your fucking interns or whoever made the goddamn supplement is listening to this, here's a brief quick tip for you. Okay, here's some helpful advice. If you want us to buy your models, if you want to, sell us assault squads, to sell us Vanguard veterans, to sell us Stern Guard veterans, to sell us, fucking command squads, and, all this other shit that you have let go out of date and not kept up with as far as the rest, the other Marines out there, here's a hint. How about, if you want me to buy your fucking boxes of Tactical Marines, if you want me to charge with my Tactical Marines, if you want me to assault with my Devastator Marines, if you want me to assault with my, my Dreadnoughts or whatever, here's a hint for you. How about you give us some actually good special rules? How about you give us a benefit? Considering you're not giving us objective secured, which can prove to be pretty critical. As far as tactical objectives and everything is concerned. Because unfortunately, 40K is not just about slaughtering your enemy as much as all those cornate berserker players out there would have you believe. 40K is a tactical game. There are objectives, aside from just slaughtering your opponent. And you try and force Blood Angels players to take things that a normal Space Marine Battle Demi-Company would have, but then you don't give us the same fucking special rules for it. I don't understand, Games Workshop. If you want us to assault, then give us units in a formation that would encourage us to assault, or at the very least, give us the special rules, that would encourage us to assault. What are you giving us, by taking away objective secured? What, fucking +1 initiative on the charge? Sure, that helps. Sure, that helps against, other Marines army, but that's not going to help me, if I'm playing 1,850 points, my opponent is sitting there playing 2,200 points with all of his free fucking transports. Where is our fucking Librarius Conclave or whatever? I thought it said in the Blood Angels Codex that, in the Blood of Sanguinius, who was at least partially psychic, that, psychers tend to be stronger in the Blood Angels. Where the fuck is our Librarius Conclave? Where is our fucking, Skyhammer Annihilation Force? The most, the formation that relies on assault squads and devastators, deep striking or whatever, and then charging out a deep strike. That's if that's not Blood Angels, I don't know what the hell you think Blood Angels are supposed to be, Games Workshop. But this is not it. This is fucking terrible. This is the worst formation in this in this supplement. And really, Games Workshop, I really don't know who the hell you have writing rules for Blood Angels over there, but fire them. Fire them. This is just so infuriating, and every Blood Angels player out there is so sick and tired of getting fucked over by you people. And I could, just go on to the fact that, as far as, cataphractii Terminators and the different, variants of Terminator armor, you even did a fucking conversion for, cataphractii Blood Angel Terminators, and all you said was, oh, well, you can just, house rule it or whatever. Bullshit. Do you really think that any, fucking tournament out there is really going to allow that? Do you think, that's going to fly well with competitive players out there if it isn't specifically listed in the codex? Games Workshop, if we just wanted to make a whole bunch of bullshit up, we wouldn't be buying your fucking rulebook. We wouldn't be buying your fucking codexes if we wanted to just make shit up. For the love of God, have some, take some pride, in your IP. Take some steps or whatever to make sure that, your armies are taken care of. And the worst part of it is, Blood Angels aren't even the worst. You have, orcs who have been fucked over. You have Sisters of Battle, who are by far have been the worst treated army out there. Why in God's name you haven't released plastic sculpts for those guys, for those, for the nuns with guns that literally everyone would want to fucking own? I have no idea. You have Dark Eldar or whatever that have kind of been left behind. I mean, sure, this new thing with the fracture of Beltan kind of helps them, but it's just so infuriating, Games Workshop. And I can tell you, as someone who bought your special edition supplement here with Angel's Blade, your book was not worth it. And I got to tell you, I am not looking forward to 8th edition at all. I'm very skeptical about what you're going to do with Blood Angels. I'm very skeptical about what you're going to do with 8th edition, because I got to tell you, you fucking lost my confidence with this supplement. I mean, this is this is unequivocally a big fuck you to every Blood Angels player out there. Like, I don't know who I'm really struggling to understand why you would do this. And the saddest part about it is, I know, Games Workshop, that your rules writers are not incompetent. You are not incompetent. I repeat, not incompetent. You proved yourselves with the Genestealer Codex. You proved yourself with the Traitor Legions. You proved yourself with the Deathwatch Codex. Games Workshop, you are capable of doing excellent things. Why do you insist on shitting on Blood Angels? Why do you insist on just completely fucking us over with this useless, this just absolutely useless fucking core choice, in the Angel's Blade Strike Force? This fucking neuters the entire detachment. The fucking namesake of the supplement is fucked by this. It's so infuriating, Games Workshop, and I really don't understand why you can't do better. On its own, the Battle Demi-Company is a failure. Why would you ever take this over the Ball Strike Force? I've heard some people out there, I'm not going to mention their names, but some people out there have said, oh, well, I really enjoy the diversity that, the Battle Demi-Company offers in Angel's Blade. What? What the fuck are you talking about? You can take a Ball Strike Force and have however, the Ball Strike Force is so much more diverse than the Battle Demi-Company is. It's not so much of a point sink, and you get to choose whatever units you want to have in it. So don't talk to me about diversity when we already had diversity in the Ball Strike Force. So I don't buy that, the Battle Demi-Company is good because it offers diversity. Fuck that. That is stupid. That is a stupid fucking argument. It's just not good. There's no benefit to taking the Battle Demi-Company. The only bright side that I can see, or whatever, and ironically, this is, I got this off of a 1D4 chain here. The only benefit to taking this thing is that A, we only have to take one of them, and B, you can kind of min-max this thing to hell. And really, honestly, if you're playing 1,500 points or 2,000 points, that's probably what I would do. I would just min-max the hell out of this thing and try and keep everything cheap, and thank God we only have to take one of these. I mean, that's really all I can say about this battle Demi-Company. This thing is a steaming pile of shit, And it's a shame that this is like the first thing we see in the new formations, because if this was like the last thing that we saw in this book, honestly, it would probably put a much less bitter taste in our mouth. But wow, what a fucking failed way to start off the formations in this supplement. This thing just shits on this entire supplement and just puts a bitter taste in every Blood Angels player's mouth when they look to see what the new formations are. I mean, this thing is god awful. There's no tactical benefit. There's no special rules benefit here. It's just a giant point sink for no fucking reason when we know Games Workshop can do better than this. So you know what? I think I've gone on long enough. This is already like a 15-minute rant here. If you guys don't appreciate the language, I do apologize. Being part of this hobby, I'm very passionate about these kind of things, especially when we as players have not only put in so much time and effort into not only building and buying, building, and painting these models, but this is also a monetary investment. This is a mental investment, trying to keep up with all the rules and keep everything in place. 40K is a huge investment, and I don't feel that it's unreasonable that when players invest, large amounts, in most cases, of time, money, and effort into this game, that we should expect a damn good return. And this is not it. The Battle Demi-Company is not that damn good return. Luckily, the one on the page next to it certainly is a good return. The Archangel's Orbital Intervention Force, and that is we'll talk about that in its own separate video. But anyway, that's really all I have to say for now on the Battle Demi-Company. I just certainly got a little bit more heated than I thought I would. However, it's about time I got this off my chest, and frankly, the Battle Demi-Company was what inspired me to make this channel in the first place, believe it or not. I read this, and I started screaming in my mind, and I said, what, why don't I go scream on the internet? Maybe if I scream loud enough, Games Workshop will care. So anyway, that is all I have to say for now on the Battle Demi-Company. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say down below in the comments section. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.